We've all been there, tired after a long day, opening the freezer, and pulling out that familiar frozen lasagna. It's quick, easy, and gets the job done. But let's be real for a second, nothing beats the experience of a homemade lasagna straight from the oven. In the fast-paced, convenience-driven world of today, especially in the USA, frozen meals have become a staple in many households. However, with just a little effort and a few fresh ingredients, you can elevate that experience to something truly special. Homemade lasagna is more than just a meal, it's an experience, a celebration of comfort food. Whether you're hosting a family dinner, cooking for friends, or just craving something hearty, there's something magical about preparing lasagna from scratch. It's the perfect dish for gatherings, whether it's a Sunday family meal or a casual weeknight dinner. It's a dish that brings people together, just like those traditional Sunday family dinners we all grew up with in the US, where everyone pitched in to make something memorable. The difference between frozen lasagna and homemade is like night and day. Frozen lasagna can feel heavy and bland, with overly processed ingredients that don't give you that rich, flavorful punch. But when you make it yourself, each layer, whether it's the seasoned meat, the creamy cheese, or the flavorful tomato sauce, comes together in perfect harmony. It's a true comfort food, filling the house with that irresistible aroma that makes your mouth water. Making lasagna from scratch doesn't have to be intimidating. You don't need to be a professional chef to create something amazing. In fact, with a little practice and the right ingredients, you'll find that making lasagna is one of the most satisfying cooking experiences out there. So, if you're ready to ditch the frozen meals and make something that will have you and your family excited for dinner, homemade lasagna is the way to go. Once you taste it, there's no going back. Alright, now that you're excited to ditch the frozen lasagna and make something homemade, let's talk about the ingredients. The best part about making lasagna from scratch is that you don't need any fancy, hard-to-find ingredients. You can find everything at your local grocery store, and it's all about using fresh, quality products to make a meal that's both delicious and comforting. Here's what you'll need: lasagna noodles, ground beef, ricotta cheese, mozzarella, parmesan, garlic, onions, and tomato sauce. These ingredients come together to create that perfect balance of cheesy, meaty goodness that makes lasagna the ultimate comfort food. And let's be real, cheese is the star of the show here. The rich mozzarella and creamy ricotta combine to give you that melt-in-your-mouth experience, while the parmesan adds that sharp, nutty kick that ties everything together. In America, we love our Italian food, and lasagna has earned its place as a staple in many households. Whether it's a casual dinner or part of a bigger family gathering, lasagna is something everyone can enjoy. The key to making the best lasagna is in the seasoning and the sauce. A homemade tomato sauce, slow-cooked with garlic and herbs, will add depth of flavor that store-bought sauces just can't match. So, gather these simple ingredients, and let's start building your lasagna. With just a few fresh items, you'll be on your way to creating a dish that's far better than anything from the freezer section. Ready to get started? Let's go! Now comes the fun part, layering your lasagna. This is where all the magic happens, and the smell of fresh, homemade lasagna starts to fill your kitchen. Let's break it down step by step. First, cook your lasagna noodles until they are al dente, not too soft, but firm enough to hold all that cheesy goodness. This texture is key to creating that perfect bite every time. While the noodles are cooking, brown your ground beef with garlic and onions in a large pan. The sizzle of the meat as it cooks is one of those familiar, comforting sounds we all love. Once the beef is browned, add in your homemade tomato sauce, seasoned with Italian herbs and a touch of salt and pepper. Let it simmer and thicken, bringing all the flavors together. Now it's time to assemble. In a baking dish, start with a layer of sauce at the bottom. This helps prevent the noodles from sticking. Then, add your first layer of noodles, followed by a generous spread of cheese and a spoonful of sauce. Repeat this process, building layers until all your ingredients are used up. Each layer should be thick and hearty, creating that perfect, comforting bite. The key here is balance: enough sauce, plenty of cheese, and tender noodles. As you build these layers, think of it as a little ritual. It's the heart of lasagna making, where everything comes together to create something truly delicious. Trust me, once you take a bite of this homemade lasagna, you'll feel like you've just created something special for your family, just like those classic meals everyone remembers. Now that your lasagna is perfectly layered, it's time to pop it in the oven and let the magic happen. This is where the transformation occurs. As the lasagna bakes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes, the kitchen will begin to fill with the irresistible aroma of bubbling sauce and melting cheese. It's that cozy, homey scent that makes you feel like you're at the heart of a Sunday family dinner, just like those classic American meals we all grew up loving. Baking the lasagna isn't just about cooking it through, it's about letting all those flavors blend and intensify. The cheese will melt into gooey perfection, while the sauce thickens and coats every layer of pasta. The top will turn a golden brown, and the edges will become slightly crispy, giving it that satisfying texture. The best part? You'll know your lasagna is done when it's bubbling around the edges. That's the sign of a truly hearty, comforting dish. In the USA, where family meals are often the highlight of the week, lasagna has earned its place as a go-to dish for gatherings. Whether it's a birthday dinner, a casual get-together, or even a holiday feast, lasagna is a crowd pleaser that never disappoints. Once you take it out of the oven, let it sit for a few minutes to set. This will help keep the layers intact when you cut into it. When you finally serve it, you'll see the layers hold together perfectly, offering a bite that's rich, cheesy, and utterly satisfying. Trust me, after this golden transformation, you'll know there's no going back to frozen lasagna ever again. The moment you've been waiting for has arrived. Your lasagna has been baking to perfection, and now it's time to serve up this mouth-watering creation. Before you dive in, let it sit for a few minutes to set. This will make sure all those layers stay intact when you cut into it. It's tempting, but trust me, waiting just a bit will give you the perfect slice every time. When you cut into the lasagna, you'll see the layers come together like a beautiful work of art: golden, bubbly cheese, rich tomato sauce, and tender noodles. The smell will be intoxicating, and the first bite will prove that all the effort was worth it. Each bite is packed with flavor, offering the perfect balance of savory meat, creamy cheese, and that aromatic sauce you've worked so hard on. In the US, where family and friends often gather around the dinner table, this homemade lasagna becomes more than just food, it's an experience. It's something you can proudly serve to your loved ones, knowing you've created a dish from scratch that will make everyone smile. Whether it's a family dinner, a weekend gathering, or even a cozy meal at home after a long day, lasagna always feels special. Serve it with a side of garlic bread and a fresh salad, and you've got yourself the perfect meal. The best part? The leftovers taste even better the next day. So, go ahead, dish out a hearty portion, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. With this homemade lasagna, you've created more than just a meal, you've made a memory.